Hey everyone, this is going to be another breakdown. This is going to be interesting because I have not seen this rule set done yet. It's a 7 versus 7 team match, and it's by weight, I believe. And there's 3 5 minute rounds, and there's like a 1 minute break between rounds. So this should be interesting. I have not watched any of this. I know some of the guys that are on this card, and a lot of the guys I don't know. I honestly I've never heard of all the guys on this, on this side of the red team. I've never heard really of any of them. They're probably really famous, really good. I just don't know them. But I do know the beards. All the beards kind of look the same, so I know that they're going to be pretty good, especially with their wrestling. So, anyways, the we'll start that in just a second. And if you have not checked out the link in the description, click on that link. You'll get access to all the strength and conditioning programs for the Sweet Science Fighting Underground. And you'll also be able to submit your own videos to be broken down and have all access to all the breakdowns we've already done. So let's check this out and see what's going on here, because I honestly have not watched any of the matches. I just kind of read the rule set, and so this should be interesting. I know there's a point system involved here, which is good because, you can go to overtime. I always hate this. I don't really like EBI rules in general, the overtime rules at least. So points are judges, So this is a lot of ADCC rules in this too. You have to keep pressuring forward. You can't stall, things like that. So I think the first 2 minutes, there's no points. And then after that, there is. So let's check it out. So he takes a shot. So as I suspected, good wrestlers taking a shot. Got stuffed. Thought the guy was wearing socks for a second. That's tape. All right. And good tie-up. There's a hard tie-up there. Just getting you distance. These guys are using a lot of energy here. It's tense. Not a lot of energy by a lot of movement, but just tense. Just a lot of hand fighting. Another shot. Took a shot back. Not bad. Okay, so far they're both pretty good. Equally good in the stand up so far. Good fake. Staying low, keeping the hands low. Looked for an arm drag there for a second. Popped under. Yep. Trying to get the double unders there. Got a whizzer now, so this will be interesting to see what happens. Looks like a judo throw is about to happen. Some sort of Ujimata. Missed it. That was interesting. The Temeev. I'm gonna just mangle these guys' names, but the guy in the red, Temeev, he kind of dodged that Uchimata and then just took another shot. That was pretty nice. Trying to get underhooks, but it's hard to get inside position. He has the inside position on the right side. Good, disengage. So it looks like they're just kind of checking time in here, checking reactions, little feints here and there. They're probably going to call him here to start moving here in just a second. If they don't start moving forward. There we go. It's a double tie up, and they just disengage. Good shot. And, I just want to say, like, these shots from some, you get some good wrestlers always take those shots from so far away. I'm old. I don't do that anymore. But and your timing and your timing has to be really good to take shots that far away. And in my opinion, you're a good wrestler. It doesn't matter. Honestly, you can take shots from wherever you want. But it's that was, to me, that was a far shot, which means this kind of means he's a good wrestler. So we can see now we have 1 over 1 under. Yep, good throw by. Now he's to the back with the body lock. It looks like Peterson tried to roll. There's a lot of guys when they get to that body lock there. What's really popular to do now is kind of a shoulder roll, like a dive onto that right shoulder to dive here. But the body lock here that Temeev has is pretty tight. So he's not gonna. He didn't get that initial roll. He was trying to get his hips elevated to the sky here, and he can usually roll out of this body lock. But he's still fighting here to get the frames in. He's getting up on his hand. This is always critical. It is exhausting, if you ever done like, any kind of straight up wrestling, taking any wrestling classes, they're always just posting up, especially if you ever grappled against a good wrestler who just does like kind of pure wrestling. They're always up on their hands and their arms, just always getting up. They're never going to be flat, obviously, because, in wrestling, you don't want to get pinned. So, this is a good idea. He's trying to create a frame with his left arm, but now he's just conceding to the body lock again. Now a seatbelt happens. He's jumping. And some other breakdowns that I've done, I've mentioned this right here with this. Whenever the seatbelt happens, okay, there's upper body connection, but there's no lower body connection yet. In order for the person on the back to actually really start attacking any sort of strangulation, like a rear naked choke, the legs must be involved in some fashion. I mean, Temeev's legs have to get wrapped around Peterson here in some fashion, so that way he can actually start to produce a choke. If Peterson can deny the leg wrap around his hips, then he can actually keep moving. And so that's why you see a lot of guys with their hands going towards the legs here to push the legs away. It just denies that the hook. It doesn't last forever, obviously, and you can't get your arm trapped, which I've seen. You can get your arm trapped if you stay there too long, but it keeps you moving and gives you that little moment to where you need to get out. And so that's why he's not really defending the neck here. Yeah, see? So you see now the hook happened right here. The hook got in there. Back is established. Now there's connection. Now he can start to go for a strangulation. Peels that foot off. That was really good. The reason why his hands can go down, again, Peterson's hands on his right hand can go down and peel that foot off is because it's the angle of his back here. So he's getting his back to the mat. So, he can take his hands away from his face and start to unlock the feet or get the feet off his hips. This is a good strategy. I would not do that if they were actually in a spinal alignment here. If there was spinal alignment, I wouldn't take my hands away from my face. Some guys do, though. You watch Gary Tunney and these guys, they'll take their hands away, but they're just really good at, understanding the position. And take a lot of risk. So, man, this Temeev guy, man, he's just all over him on top. Such good pressure. Good shoulder pressure here, downward pressure. We're going to pause it. Move it back to the center of the mat. All right. Let's move back center, guys. This guy's got gray hair. What the heck? All right, so they reset him back to the center and should give him a cross face. Bit of a lock on the leg here. It's not going to do him too much good. All right, so they're going to start here. Good, he's shrimping into him. And just Temeev keeping that top pressure in, switching sides. Good. Peterson did a good job, got his guard back. It's facing. Going to this half, kind of quarter shield. Looked for a false sweep there. Didn't get it. A lot of hand fighting there. Yep. Switching to the other side. Got two double unders. Going for a triangle. But he has two arms on the outside. on the inside. A lot of times you can get a little confused because when the passing and all that's happening, you can actually forget that there's only just a head in there and not an arm. You need an arm and a head. And he recognizes that. I mean, it's not like he didn't recognize it. It's just things are moving so fast. Good pressure. I mean, this is just a smothering kind of pressure here. Transitioning from kind of quarter mount, side control, just keeping him flat, keeping that shoulder connection. Now he's framing out on his head. The reason why he's doing this, framing on the head, excuse me, is because, this, I've talked a lot about the top leg and the top arm always being the optimal way to frame and to pummel, right? Those are always going to be your better frames, and that's because that's the person that's passing. That's what they're trying to get past. They're trying to get past this top leg and this top arm. So you're trying to get past this top arm and this top leg. So it's very if they can't, if the person's very good at keeping this type of knee shield, this kind of half guard, quarter guard, knee shield type of game, and keeping it open, they have a ton of attacks they can go over there, a lot of transitions. But the person trying to pass, it's very clear that top leg and the top arm is the problem. Just dives in with his head. You see that his head's like a battering ram. I mean, it's like I've seen this before. Good wrestlers. It's like your head, hands, hips, tricks, all that stuff. The head is essentially a battery. You can tripod on your head. I use a lot of tripoding on my head to like pin people down or just to pinpoint my pressure down. But that was just like diving your head through, right? This is, Jesus. Okay. There we go. All right. Yeah, diving the head in there. This is going to be uh, a good way to actually, start to penetrate the guard. And if you can get your head diving in there, he can probably start to walk his legs around and try to get to a better angle. So just understand when you dive your head into somebody's, guard, it could be a bad thing, but not here. He is fine. But I mean, it's like a battering ram. Look at the way he's jumping around the guard. And see the top leg here. Remember, top leg's always the issue. So he pins the top leg and he's jumping over the top and he posts it on his head. So his head was actually pinning Peterson down, keeping his weight distributed on top of Peterson. And then his left arm was pinning the top leg, which is the problem. And then he's just, jumping over to the other side. So this is, pretty basic, but basic, but difficult. I mean, especially Peterson's got a great guard. These guys are very high level, and to pull that off it's tough. So good top mount, man. He's just having his way here. So mount, side control, take it to the back. Okay, so now there's probably like an energy issue here. Like there's, it's got to be exhausting for Peterson on bottom. I would say just to defend that amount of pressure, always coming forward, just tenacious. Just driving forward. Okay, so this is going to be exhausting. So now we're starting to get him wrapped up. Uh-oh. That you don't want that. Okay, so this will be interesting to see what happens. I mean, he's got it locked in here. I can't see once a person has this locked in, remember, when somebody gets your back, it is ideal that the choking arm, you grab the meat of the thumb of the choking arm. Don't grab the wrist, don't grab the forearm. Always grab the hand. Okay, grab the hand, not the fingers, just grab the hand. We always say 4 or more. So you grab 4 fingers or more, it's fine. That's how you get the choking hand away. He kept both his hands down here, which is really interesting. One was to peel this leg off to deny the legs from popping over. But he does have the leg be popping over here. But he sacrificed the position here to now. Temeev has a figure 4 on the back. So now the option for getting the thumb is gone. I've seen guys get out of this. I mean, they just usually post up on the elbow here and they'll just push as hard as they can, like rip their face off. And it hurts, but they can get out. But you can produce a strangulation here because notice the alignment of the elbow, Temeev's elbow to Peterson's chin. This will not just be a face crank, but it'll also be a strangulation as well. And this is going to be very difficult to unlock. Yeah, see, now he's reaching for the top hand. This is a bit of desperation. Because the hand is already behind the head. But now you can see it's actually kind of setting in. He's abandoned the feet here, and that's just going to make it worse because now, Temeev can actually really get a lock on his body. And that's going to be a tap. So it was just that little moment, that little timing that he missed, defending his neck. This is why I was saying earlier, and again, I haven't seen this. And so like I was saying earlier, it's a good idea to keep your hands down and like keep the hooks away. But if you're not careful, if somebody locks on a figure 4 on your neck and they're just not going to let it go, and you can deny the hooks all you want, but if you miss it by just a fraction of a second and they get that hook in it's going to be very difficult to get out of. And plus, you got to remember a lot of these guys, man, like at this level, and even guys in the gym, I've rolled with guys and they just grab something and they don't let it go. I mean, it's awful, you ever putting Casa or Scarfold or something, and you just get a guy, even if they're brand new, put you in a headlock and they just don't let it go. It's awful. It's miserable. I mean, there's techniques to get out and do all this other stuff, and you get into a higher level, and these guys, they just don't let go. Like if they get a position, they're not going to let it go. And this is certainly the case in this with this match. So that was a very interesting match. Pretty quick. Red team got that one. The Beards. So let's see what we got here. We got, so I believe the teams here are Modolfo and Universal Fighters. So these are the team names. Really good. Again, I've never seen Temeev here. I've never seen a match with him. I'm sure he's obviously really, really, really good. So I'll be checking these guys out more online to see if I can find more stuff about them. So